And a very warm welcome to the live session, which is the third topic of our becoming a data analyst topic, which is from charts to clarity. Okay, in this we'll understand how the interactive charts are there, how custom charts and AI powered visuals can help in making our charts a more like from report to something which every person can understand the charts through. Okay. So if we talk about what you'll walk away or what will be the price of of sticking with me for an hour in this Saturday night will be, first, there will be a clear understanding of how interactive visuals and actually enhance our decision making. Okay, we are not talking about why we are choosing the chart, but we are also understanding how we can use the Zoom AI or the custom visual charts to get more clarity on the tools and understand the skills behind it. Okay, so you'll get practical insights about selecting the right visual as well as what's the right question before choosing that visual, what drives this result, why this start is necessary, what is the composition of this share. We are like going to understand all these questions in the next 1 hour. Ultimately, we'll also be able to move from just reporting data to actually explaining the data and understanding it, and we'll have a structured approach. Okay, how we can build our smarter dashboards, how we can just not look the data but also understand it and make better decisions from it. Okay, so let's start, which is the main slide of today's topic, which is the interactive visuals. Okay, I have tried to distribute that visuals in three main categories. The first is custom visuals, which has the scroller chart, the tornado chart, and the pie rate chart. The next is AI visuals. There are four AI visuals. First is key influencer, second is smart narratives, the third one is the decomposition tree, and the last but not least is the question and answer tool. There, the next topic is Zoom drill down visuals, where we will understand about how Zoom drill down pie or donut chart is, and the next is Zoom drill down bar or column chart. So let's understand each one of them separately with the next slide. First, the tornado chart. Okay, I have named this chart as the good versus evil chart because don't just let the name scare you. Okay, it's actually one of the most intuitive charts I have ever used for comparison. This chart helps us to compare two scenarios side by side at the same time, highlighting the positive and the negative impact with clear directional bars. Okay, so the question when we answer while we are talking about this chart is which factors are driving the increase versus decrease, what we are comparing, if is there any relationship between them, if it's there, so how the contribution is impacting to both of them. Okay, so let me give you an example. Imagine you are running a small chai tea stall. Okay, you set a monthly sales target. For example, for January the target was 50,000 and the actual sales was 65,000. For February it was like 45,000 and the actual was 30,000. For March it was the target was 60 while as the actual was 58,000. So this data, when you try to explain through this chart, you'll be able to clearly see, okay, this months were clearly where targets were achieved, and these were the months where the target was not achieved, the actual demand was lesser than the target. So yes, you must be thinking why we are not using the bar chart or like the stacked bar chart or the clustered bar chart to show this. Yes, you can use this, but according to me, Power BI is all about visual impact. It's about how a visual is able to make you understand in the single glance what each chart is trying to show you. So this tornado chart is more related to or like more useful when we are showing something related to contribution or something according to sensitivity analysis. Okay, so if we talk about why we should avoid these charts, it will be when the categories are too many. For example, if there are three or more than three categories, then we cannot use this tornado chart, because in this there will be a single baseline and it will be on left side and right side only. So we can use only two sides. So if there are three or more categories, we should avoid this chart. And the best use of this chart is when we are using something related to decision comparison or something sensitivity analysis is there, then we should use this chart. Now let's go to the next chart, which is the scroller chart. Okay, the scroller chart, according to me, this is like a clean chart which we can use to show many data or a large data in the same in a same or like a small space. What I mean by that is, like, for example, you are using the India data. Okay, now you have to showcase 28 to 30 states in the single chart, like what was the sales of each state. Yes, we can either use bar chart or a table or a matrix. Okay, when we use a bar chart, just imagine what will be the scenario of it: 28 small bars sticking to each other in a single space. It will not look good. And yes, you can use a table, but as I said earlier, Power BI is all about visually impact. So if we use a table, it will not look that visually appealing. So on that note, we use the scroller chart. Okay, this shows the large data in a way as it's like a navigation bar where the numbers go from left to right in a like a news channel way. Okay, and when we have many categories, now we can use this because it allows us to navigate through large data sets smoothly without overwhelming the screen. Now, When we use it, it's perfect when we have to go with clean storytelling dashboards where you have a data set with many categories like top customers, products, regions. But the places where we should avoid is when the data volume is very small. Like we are only talking about 5 to 6 categories, 5 to 6 states and all, then we should go with a bar chart or a pie chart because that will look more good. But if the data is too large, then we should go with a scroller chart. So we used it when we want our dashboards to look a little professional when we have a massive data sets, or we are looking for a clean layout. Okay. So the next is the Pie KPI chart. Okay. The Pie KPI chart is the chart which is like a two-in-one chart. Okay. In this, we combine both charts, which is the one is the KPI chart and the second is pie chart. In the KPI chart, there is the total of the sales. For example, imagine you're talking about a company whose sales is 50 lakhs, out of which 50% is electronics, which is 25 lakhs, clothing is 30%, 15 lakhs, and books is 20%, 10 lakhs. Okay. So while analyzing this, you use a pie chart to show the contribution of each. But in the middle, a person or someone asks you, what is the total of the sales or what is the total sales? And like while you're showing the pie chart, he asks, like, what's the total of the sales? So I can compare, okay, this was the total and this is the share of electronics. So this is where this chart can be used. In the middle, the KPI is showing the total of that sales, which is, for example, 50 lakhs. And outer side, the ring is showing clearly the division or the contribution of each category, which is 25, 15, and 20, 10. So the question we use while analyzing or using this chart is what is the share and how is it performing? What's the share of that category? Like what we are indicating our performance to. Then we go with this chart. Okay. We should use this best when we have to show something contribution or like we have to use the KPIs and the charts and all together. And we should avoid this when there are many segments. By many segments, what I mean is if there are more than 6 or 7 categories, then we should avoid pie charts because it's a visual killer. Because just imagine in a circle, there are more than 6 divisions. There you'll not be able to understand the data and it will be a mess. So at that space, the bar chart is the perfect choice. But if the categories or the segments or the divisions are less than 5 or like it's up to 5 or 6, then we should go with pie chart. It's excellent if we use it for snapshots or like for example in a single chart you are doing the work of two, so it's basically using up your space. Okay. The next is the zoom drill down bar or column chart. It's the like the most common zoom chart which is used by everyone because it helps us or enables us the user to click and dive deeper to form a like a summary and have a detailed breakdown of that topic. It gives us hierarchy it gives us a hierarchical exploration. For example, we can go from category to subcategory, then to segment, then to ship mode, then to weekday, weekend. We can analyze all of them in a single chart rather than making 6 to 7 different charts for each topic, making a single chart where we can drill down through it. So the question which we analyze while talking about this chart is the zoom. What's behind this number? What's driving this number? What's the reason? What like this number is this much and this number is high and this number is low? We can understand that with the help of zoom drill down or the zoom drill down bar and column chart. So the best use case is this when we have a hierarchical data, as I said, like category, subcategory, segment, ship mode, weekday, weekend. And we should avoid when there is no structure in it. Okay, for example, you have a data set which has only 15 to 16 columns, and in it there is no relationship between ship mode and no relationship between category and subcategory. Then we should not use this chart. But if there is a layered analysis, if there is a hierarchical analysis which we can do or exploration which we can explore, then we should go with zoom drill down bar and column chart. Okay, we can click to zoom and then click again to zoom out. The next is zoom drill down pie and donut chart. Okay, zoom by this chart, this is like a what I say chart where we click and the contribution layers interactively goes from higher level to granular level. By that, what makes I mean is like for example, imagine you are a college student, okay, and you are analyzing your budget at the end of the month. Okay, so it was like for example 20,000, which rent was 40%, which is 8,000. Food and dining was roughly 30%. Let's take it to 6,000. And entertainment was 4,000, which contributes 20%. And the rest is the savings, which you save up, which is 2,000, 10%. So now I know this. These four are the main contributors of my salary. So if I click on rent, if I want to know, okay, in rent, how much I'm giving for the AC services or the AC and how much I'm giving for the place where I'm living and how much is the if any more expenses is there or not. If you talk about food and dining, what was the groceries cost in it? What was the like if I order something from outside, what was the cost of Zomato and Swiggy? If there was some coffee and chai orders or if there was any snacks and all, so what's the contribution of that? If we are talking about anything which what makes up my salary, what's the like contributors of my salary, then this chart is the best. So if, for example, imagine you make a pie chart of all these rent, food and dining, entertainment and savings, and then it's a hierarchical contribution or the layered contribution. When you click on the food and dining, it shows you much more four contributors, which is with the groceries is 20%, Zomato and Swiggy is 30%, chai and snacks is 10%, and the miscellaneous is 40%, like that. Okay. So this is where zoom drill down pie and donut chart can be used. So if now you must be thinking, why not we make a different pie charts, or why not we make nested pie chart, or like a tree map? Yes, we can do that. But this one shows level by level, which we can interact as we want, not showing all of them at the same time. In a tree map, all of them will be shown at the same time, which will not be that visually appealing, and all the numbers will be at in the same chart at the same time. So okay, I'll be a little confused. But if you use this chart, okay, we can interact and we can zoom or drill down as we want. If now you must be having a question like, why, when to use zoom drill down pie or donut chart, and when to use this zoom drill down bar and column chart. Okay, so bar and column chart should be used when we are talking something about hierarchy, when we are talking something about how category, subcategory, and all it's going on. And pie and donut chart should be used when we are something talking about any layered. Okay, this goes after this, goes after this. Okay, it should be in the same steps. If we are talking something about steps, then pie and donut chart is the best, right? If we are talking something about hierarchy, then we should go with layered and bar and column chart. Here comes the key influencers, which is the first custom visuals of our Power BI. Okay, the this chart helps us to understand the factors that most impact our selected outcome. Okay, just a minute. I'll start again. The key influencer chart helps us to analyze the data when we are finding some factors which significantly impact our decisions. For example, if you're talking like, if there is a field to analyze, let's take a category or subcategory or segment and region, and the metric we want to solve is sales, okay, or profit. So here we'll talk these category, subcategory, and region are the independent variables, and the profit is the dependent variable at this case. So the question this visual will answer is, what factors are influencing the sales or the profit or the order, and what things are making my sales more profitable and are making my sales a little lack of. So if you want to identify which is driving my sales or which factors are driving my sales, key influencers is a visual which we can use. This helps us to understand how the impact ranking is there. For example, if you click on category, okay, which is the highest product. If you click on segment, which is the higher one. So if you want a data backed explanation, which is like we have a explanation with example with some narratives, then key influences is the best one, because it gives us the root cause discovery. Okay, this are the reason why this all is happening, and it will answer in a way like, okay, the answer will be quantity is higher profitable and it is 5x more likely to be greater than the rest of them, or like technology from the list is showing more, is strongest in the south region. The answers from the key influencer chart will be like this. Next is the Q&A visual. Okay, the imagine giving every stakeholder the power to ask the questions without waiting for a report. Okay, it's like a natural language question. We type in the natural language questions where we get or receive instant visual responses from the data. Like we just type which state had the highest profit margin, and it will show a chart showing the question. So the question for this visual which we ask is, what happens if my dashboard is asking the questions directly? It's like a self-service Power BI visual which helps us to analyze how these things are happening, and we can just ask questions in a natural language there. So data model is like, if the data model does not have many categories, or if the data model is very small, then we should avoid this visual. But if you want an executive exploration and at the same time you're talking with the person or the manager or someone and you want answers at the same time, then we can go with this visual. Next is smart narratives. Okay, smart narrative is the visual which automatically generates the dynamic text and summarizes our answers and the chart we are going through. For example, imagine you have made the report. Okay, you had 15 to 20 minutes to make the report and you have made it, but the analysis of that report is not done because you had a little less amount of time. So at that time you can use this chart alongside your visual. You can use the smart narratives, and this will give you an instant interactive report which you can use and which will change dynamically when you click on the filters. So what is the story behind these numbers, what's driving these numbers, or like when we are presenting dashboard to the stakeholders, our report, our summary will be on the screen which we can read and tell them at the same time. We don't need to sum up or like mug up all the things. So if you're going for executive summary, or if you're talking something about why and what was behind that number, then we can go with smart narratives. The last but not the least is the decomposition tree. This is just like the zoom drill down pie or zoom drill down bar chart, because in this also it breaks down the like the contributors are showing step by step exploration, or the like how can I break these numbers into category, subcategory, segment, and what was the profit, and what was the contribution of highest category and category, what was the highest subcategory and subcategory, what was the highest model, and all. We can understand this in the single visual where all the charts will be there. None of them will go like, it's a multi-level analysis where we can see each step at the same time. If we should avoid this chart when the data has no hierarchy in it. Like for example, if there is no hierarchy in the data, if there are no steps in the data, then we should avoid these types of chart. But if there is hierarchy, there are number of categories and all in this chart, then we should go with this one. Next is the summary, which like key influencers is the chart when we best go for the root cause analysis, and the question behind is what factors drive performance. In this way I've made a chart which you can use for your next dashboard. I'll wait a minute if someone wants to take a screenshot of it. um as we have a lot of time, we can like go through each of the charts. Okay, so now we can go through each chart one by one. We can download the custom visuals by here. Just click on get more visuals, then it will load a bit. Then here you can search for any custom chart. Let's go with the scroller chart. I'm not downloading it once again, but because I have it in this file, but you can just use or like just click on this add button, then it will be imported to your dashboard. Just a minute. You can just click your add, and it will be here. Okay. Then to use this, just click on this chart and it will be shown here. As it's a custom chart, you cannot move it. Just double click on it and you can expand the chart like this. Okay. So as I talked in the example, let's go for the state by sales. Okay. State by sales. Okay. You can see the scroller is showing all the sales in it. And yes, you can increase the speed by turning the speed to 5. This will be, and you can even use the coloring, but for that you need to give some deviation. This we can use like target in the measure deviation, and the chart is ready to be used. And to show the difference, as I said, yes, you can make this chart through bar chart also. Okay, yes, you must be having a question, why not use a bar chart to make the same thing? Let's understand that why I was telling no. Okay, use the state versus sales. Okay, and just imagine this is the same chart. Both the charts are showing the same things, but in the below chart you cannot see how each of the numbers are going, as there are too many bars at the same time. But in the scroller chart you can see that clearly. This is the use of the custom chart. Now let's go to the circle KPI chart. The process is the same. You can download this chart from Get More Visuals. The name is Ring Chart by Mac Software. Okay, just use this, make it in center, expand it. Let's go here with category and sales. Okay, this chart benefit is you can see the total in the middle. Okay, here you can just in the summary labels go and just turn them on from category to all detail labels, so you'll be able to see all the detail labels. Now you must be thinking this chart is not that appealing. Let's make that appealing. Okay, let's just turn on the title and go with category wise sales, and then turn that, make it in middle, a little bit bigger in size and bold. Okay, and for the legends, we don't need the legends twice because we are showing the numbers here. And to remove the second title, just remove the ring title. Okay, and then for the summary labels, just increase the size a little bit and change the color to a little darker blue. Okay, and then to make it more good, let's just remove the BG color and turn on the visual border. Let's make it a little round because I prefer them round, and then do the border this. Okay, and to make it look more good, we can go with shadow and turn on the shadow to the customs, and then your chart is done. Okay, yes, as you'll not be able to see the numbers, you can just increase the size of them a little bit and just change the color to a little darker color. Yeah, done. The chart is done. So what's the use of this chart? Okay, you can clearly see the total as well as the contributor parts at the same time. So it's like making two charts at the same time easily, and so you're just saving up your space. Next is the tornado chart. So for tornado chart, we need something which has only two segments. So here in this data set, it's like we can go with, first we have to, I'm sorry, still this. First, you have to download this visual from the custom visuals. Yes, you can download the visual from Get More Visuals, as I have shown earlier. If you want the tutorial for it, you can just comment in the section. I'll make the tutorial and post it. Okay, just click on the tornado visual and let's go for sales, gender, where is the gender wise sales, and distribution in category. Okay, so you can see. Okay, I did it wrong. Just a minute. The legend should be, wait just a minute. Sales in category, and the legend should be gender. What we want to divide that. The group are the sectors which we want the data to be divided in, and the legend is the two categories what we wanted to divide in. Okay, so to make it more appealing, as we did the same process, we can do this once again. I'm showing it to you once again if someone has missed it. Okay, and then go in size and style, turn off the background, turn on the visual border, turn it to gray, the same as your charts, and make them round because I prefer them round. Then shadow, custom, done. Here we'll need the legend because here it's not showing which is the male and which is female. So let's just increase the size of the legend a little bit. Rather than scrolling, we can search legend, turn it on, and yes, increase the size a little bit so we can see them clearly. Okay, and we can even colors, which is the data colors. Okay, so for female, let's go with lighter blue, and for male, let's go with darker blue. Okay, and the data labels, we can just increase the size to white and increase the size a little bit. Okay, and for the legend, we can increase the size a little bit. We have already increased. And for the groups, we can increase a little bit size and change the color to dark blue. Done. Your chart is done. These were all three custom visuals which we have made. Okay, next is zoom drill down or the pie and donut chart. Here, you just have to download this. Just a minute. You can just download this visual from here. Okay, Get More Visuals, and yes, you can get the free 1 year free license from Zoom Charts by any work mail. You can get a 1 year free license. You can import that the file in this Power BI dashboard, and you can use any Zoom Charts whichever you want. If you want a tutorial for it, just DM me. I'll make one and post it on YouTube. Just increase the size a little bit. Okay, so here when we are talking about any Zoom chart, we have to make a hierarchy in it. Okay, let's go from category to subcategory, then to ship mode, and then to segment. Okay, and we are analyzing let's take profit. Okay, so here you can see it's clearly shown. Okay, let's increase the size a little bit so you can all see. Okay, the technology is 48.9%. All labels are there. Okay, and office supplies is this much percent and this. If we click on this, it goes further down. If we click on copiers, it will be doing once again, and then if we click, it will be segment wise. And if you want to go back, what if someone asks what was the previous step, or I want to zoom out, then just click in the middle and it will go back. Click in the middle, it will go back, and it's once again. Okay, now I want to drill through office supplies. Okay, office supplies, in it there are this many sectors. Then for papers, standard class was the highest ship mode, and at the segment which purchased the most was the consumers. Then yes, we can go back, back, and back, and we can make this chart visually appealing the same way we did for the last previous custom charts. It will only take a minute. Done. Rather than showing 3 to 4 pie charts in the same dashboard, you are showing a single pie chart and showcasing 3 to 4 categories at the same time. So it's just saving up your space. Okay. Next, let's go for zoom, drill down bar, or common chart. Okay, this is there. For this chart, you will need to make a hierarchy. If you want to use this chart, there should be a hierarchy. Like if you don't know how to make a hierarchy, I'll show you here. Just click on the measure which you want to make hierarchy and click on create hierarchy, and then it will create an hierarchy named as category hierarchy. Then whatever you want to add in it, just click on that measure and select create hierarchy and use that way. Okay, let's go to subcategory, add to hierarchy. Then I have category hierarchy 2 because I've already created once. Now I'm creating it second time, so it's the name is category hierarchy 2. Then I want to go with ship mode. Then go to ship mode, add to hierarchy, and we select this. Then what we can go with region, then add to hierarchy, category hierarchy 2. So if once you create an hierarchy, it will be like this. When you click it, it will show you this. So in the category, you just use that hierarchy and it will be done. And for the legend, you can use anything which has 2 or 3 categories, so it will be showing in that way. And let's analyze profit. Okay, as you can clearly see. Okay, let's click on technology. Then this is the just turn on the legend if you want, and it will be there. For the light blue is the female and the darker blue is the male. And then we click on it, you can see drill down, and then if we click on it again, there are 3. If you want to add something in it, you can add in that hierarchy. For example, just add the region to the hierarchy, and add that hierarchy here. Okay, and then if you click it once again, it will be done region wise, north, south, east, west. So you can cancel out many things, you can add many things you want to add in this chart. Now let's go through some custom AI visuals which are already downloaded there in your Power BI dashboard. First is the Q&A chart. The Q&A chart is as simple as you ask questions to it in normal languages. For example, I want sales by category. Okay, just click on it and it will show you a chart, sales by category, at the same time without you making the chart. And if you click on this, it will be converted into visual where no one will know you have made this chart through Q&A. Okay, you can in this way make as many charts as you want. We can even go through, let's make one another again. Okay, sales by region. Let's go with sales by region. Okay, and then just click on this button which will turn this visual into the Power BI visual, whichever they are showing. And then yes, you can change the things whichever you want from here, which is like turning off the background and all by going in size and style. Turn the background off, turn the visual borders on, make them gray, make the corners a little bit rounded, turn on the shadow, and yes, your chart is ready without you spending hours on it. So this visual helps us to make a chart without you spending time on it. At the same time, if you're talking to someone, okay? The smart narrative chart. This chart is a chart which helps us to analyze what the dashboard is trying to say. Okay, so let's make a pie chart. Understand that this category by, let's take profit. There is one chart this, and make another chart which is a bar chart where we show country wise sales. Okay, there are two charts. Okay, and then someone is asking me for a report on it, so I just use this smart narrative charts beside them, and it will create a narrative for this chart. I just have to click on custom, and the narration will be there. Okay, what if you will be asking, Swani, I'm not be able to read this, just select this all. Okay, just select this and then just increase the size of it a little bit, as your eyes can be seen. Okay, and now if I click on United States, the narration will change. If I click on India, the narration will change. As the visual changes, the narration will change. If I click on Canada, the narration will change. And if I click on it back, the narration will be back. So this way you can use as many charts you want. Only two of them are left. Let's go through them also. Next is the decomposition tree. Okay, here you just use whatever hierarchy you want, and it will show you each one of them at the same time. Like in the zoom drill down and bar chart, the previous levels were vanishing off. Now here it will not go. Okay, let's go with and explain. Let's go with category. Here you don't need to make any hierarchy and all. You just can select data whichever you want the way in category, subcategory, segment, and region. Okay, and we are analyzing example profit. So here it is. Okay, just increase the size of it a little bit so you can see them clearly. Just click on it and you can select how you want the next thing to be. In a higher value, you want the charts to go through, or the lower value. Let's click on the higher value, because what we all focus is the profits and all. No? So let's click on higher value and then higher value again. As you are seeing, as we drill down, the previous things are not going, but they are still there. And at the same time, we can choose, okay, we go to corporate and all the things are changing. If we go to home office, all the things are changing. Like this way, we can analyze and drill down through each step, but can see each step at the same time. The last one is the key influencers. Okay, this one is a little bit tricky chart because I too took a lot of time to understand this chart, as I have not used it many times. But yes, you can use this, as this is a good chart to showcase something. Okay, so we can select let's go with segment, and what we can go through ship mode, and we can either state, and if something is there more, okay, we can go through category. Okay, and just a minute. And go through segment in the larger scale. Okay. And for analyzing, we can use either sales. Okay. And it's running the analysis. As you can see, as I said, the answer will be like this. When you click on it, there will be a bar chart which is showing sales is more likely to increase when category is technology than on average. Like if the category is technology, the sales is more than average. But if the category is otherwise, which is furniture or office supplies, then the sales will be average or below average. We can go for decrease also. So the answer will change. It will show sales is more likely to decrease when the category is office supplies, which means when the category we choose is office supplies, the sales is the decrease, which is the lowest. And otherwise, the sales is average or below, above average. So these are all the visuals which we have gone through and like talked through. If there are any questions, you can ask me.